basic areas where Indians are affected.
We would like to call upon the N.Surendran, a lawyer, human rights lawyer, and a lawyer for the Human Rights Party.
Defend Foriegn in the criminal charges that have been made against him in the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court. That words uttered by Mr. Foriegn has created hatred, disaffection, and contempt against the government of Malaysia. But if you were to look at the substance of the charge against him, what is it that he has said that has brought upon his head charges of this nature which can lead to him being imprisoned for up to 3 years for his first offence? In the charge sheet itself, it is stated that the ethnic Indians have been shot dead by the police at an alarming rate. He has questioned the lack of educational and economic opportunities for ethnic Indians in this country. He has criticized the race-based quota system in the country and the race-based economic model, and in essence this is what he has said. Now this the government says is seditious, and they have now charged him for an offence. In any other country, as we know, this would be nothing but pure political discussion. This would be nothing but an airing of a genuine economic and social grievance of a particular community. But in this country, it becomes a criminal offence. And if you were to ask the government what all this is about, the government has two standard responses, and I'd like to address that. The first response that you will hear from the government is that this is not a politically motivated charge. It is the subject of a police investigation, and it is a purely criminal matter, and therefore we have charged it. And the second thing that they will say is that Mr. Foriegn will have every opportunity of having a fair trial defended by advocates of his choice before an impartial tribunal. I'd like to demonstrate to you quickly that both these propositions are false, and manifestly and demonstrably false. He will not get a fair trial, and it is politically motivated. Let me take the first point, that it is politically motivated. Look at the circumstances in which he was charged. There was a mass demonstration of tens of thousands of ethnic Indians in Kuala Lumpur on the 25th of November. Less than a fortnight later, he is charged for words that were uttered well before the events on the 25th of November. So it's quite clear that this is a sort of a knee-jerk reaction to the mass protest that he managed to carry out on the 25th of November. And to say that it had nothing to do with politics is plainly absurd, and it's an insult to anyone's intelligence. It has everything to do with politics. And the nature of the utterances for which he is being persecuted is pure politics. The course that he is taking up clearly makes the government very uncomfortable. In the previous general election, it cost them a great deal in the loss of ethnic Indian votes, which went to the opposition. So it's clearly politically motivated. Dispute the fact that these sedition charges, the various sedition charges, the one against Foriegn, the one against the opposition MPs, are not politically motivated. They most certainly are. And yet, the standard response of the government, as foreign embassies, from foreign embassies, you know what their response is that, look, this is an ordinary criminal proceeding. Overruled all our objections, and even an application for her to discharge herself when she in fact stated that she was consulting someone regarding the case. We have filed appeals which are pending. The prosecution has tried to bring Foriegn here, and at the rate things are going, he is certainly bound for a long stay at His Majesty's premises. So jail, and you end up with a police investigation. Now, they will not hesitate to charge a member of the opposition, but if a member of the government does the same thing, nothing is done. Mercy of the government. There is no freedom in this country. There is no safety for anyone who stands up at the government. The Attorney General to legally shut people up, you know. And it's just as bad. After all, N.Surendran in Nigeria, he was hanged by law. But we all know there was no justice in that. The same thing is happening in our country. They're not hanging people, but they're incarcerating people.